This is Record Royale, where we throw two albums into the ring with one another and see which one comes out on top.
Do you guys ever get those like charity donation boxes of chocolates from like and you would have to take them to school and sell them? Or
I never did it personally, but I used to always buy them off people with them. They were $1, go around, charity.
I remember
a couple of chockies.
I remember having it once, and I ate all the koalas.
Yes. You find all the like coins in your house to be like, I'm gonna buy this for myself. That's the weird part about it. It's like the concept of buying shit yourself.
Yeah.
Like it's like you get all this massive box of like chocolate that it's like sitting in your kitchen table, and you're like, I have to sell this. I can't eat this.
It was far too much responsibility for a 10-year-old Adam Lindsay. Could not handle the pressure of trying to sell all those chocolates to feed the man.
So you decided to stress eat your way out of it instead.
Exactly. Yeah. That's kind of how my life.
When people walk in with them.
It's kind of how my life has gone. Really, it's a pretty good indication of, just take.
Too much responsibility equals caramel koala.
Too much responsibility.
For all 3 meals.
Take it for yourself.
But like you gotta admit though, like those boxes are like, I don't know. I loved them because it was a good conversation starter with people. I'm like, hey, I have chocolate. Sure. What's up? Like,
yeah, you're all of a sudden the most popular person ever.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like literally you're the gold coin hub, if anything, because you're just like, what's up? I'm delivering you chocolate. I don't know. I used to be that was a massive fan of that. Like they bring the snack person. Like even though you have like your canteen and everything, but like being I brought caramel koalas. What's up? Like
for sure. I definitely bought a lot of my friends with food as a child. I'd just be like,
you know what?
Hey,
food bonds
you guys,
people.
Do you want my snacks? There you go. We can be buddies. Yeah.
Food bonds people. That's
for sure.
Yeah. Like all these like little snacks that I'm seeing, like fairy bread and like meat pie. Like a meat pie is like a sport. Yeah, like a meat pie is like a sports mood where you're like, hell yeah, like
Saturday. Yeah.
These are all foods that gather people, I think.
Yeah. Well, I reckon like a pie is like
meat pie on a Saturday at the sport, fairy bread at the party, and caramel koala at school.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I think we've established like different stages of like a day, like our snacks. Like a meat pie is kind of like, I think a meat pie is kind of like, like a meat pie is kind of like the gathering. It looks like it's like a bag of meat, but in a nice way.
Yeah. It's kind of like, baby fairy bread, the entree, meat pie is the main meal, the koala's the dessert. So you're the dessert.
Oh damn! Oh my gosh, that's like a that's like a 3-course meal.
Yeah.
For a kids party.
Get that on the restaurants.
All we need is a jumping castle.
Yeah. Bring back the jumping castles.
Yes.
Did you guys have specific themed jumping castles?
I can't remember. I'm sure
I don't think so.
I think I had a jumping castle
themed,
once, like my own jumping castle, and that was pretty great birthday party for me. But
sick.
I don't know if it was themed.
like what I mean themed, like it's like a specific type of jumping castle. Like it could be like a giraffe, or like it could be like a Ninja Turtles like jumping castle. Like okay,
do you ever see
new
like
question then?
The water ones as well? The ones that have like a little bit of a water slide on them or something.
Oh damn! Cool. That's like pretty great and pretty gross at the same time.
Yeah, it's really gross actually.
Because like you know when you when you grow up and you like, because like when you like, let's say in primary school, you just invite everyone or as many people as possible. So you can like you kind of identify like which kids are like who is who from like the slide. It's like who didn't like wash their feet before they like got in the jumping castle and smeared this massive like line down the slide.
Yeah. Who peed in the jumping castle? Who was it? Who thought that was a good idea? Probably Will.
Peeing in the jumping castle. Album name.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great album name.
That's on the jumping castle. An Australian pub rock band album name.
It's gonna be like you gotta add like I pissed in the jumping castle, but I'm still crying on the inside, or something like that. Like it's got like an ad of like the mood
to make it a little emo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a photograph of like yourself as a kid, all grainy. That'll be perfect.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn. Are we releasing that?
Yeah,
now?
maybe we are. Maybe we're an emo project now. Could
Please
be good.
do.
Everything's an emo band. Everything
It
is an emo band.
It all leads
But
back
that's
to
what-
emo.
But that's what makes it funny though, when you like put these random concepts like in front of like it's sad delivery. It's like, here's my sad pizza, but I'll put a fun packaging around it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Hey, let's get in the episode. I
Yeah,
say.
yeah, let's
We're
do
up to
it.
episode 30, the big 3-0. No more 20s. No more 20s. We're in our
20
miserable
bullshit.
30s.
Oh, yeah.
Before we get into this episode, we should preface this by saying we are down a man.
Yeah.
The bowling club waits for no man, and it waits for no podcast. Brad has been caught up at work. We had to reschedule this during the week. We had to reschedule again, and now he's been caught up at work. But you better believe Bradley, the editor, will be editing this one at 1 a.m. and then releasing it immediately. But it doesn't matter because we have Nathan Wong.
Yeah.
He's here. How you doing, my man?
My guys, I'm so excited to be here.
My guy.
My guys.
Hey, we are so stoked to have you on. As soon as we knew we were doing Australian Music Month, we were like, Nathan is coming on the show.
We've got to ask.
Oh.
Whether he likes it or not.
I'm legit like the idea. I think when I got your message, I was just like, hell yeah, like let's do this, because I'm keen to chat about music. But then like I was obsessed with the idea that you guys have like created, where you like compare two albums, and like specifically like the kind of albums you were comparing with each other. I was like, I need to find a good conversational like albums to talk about that can like that are similar enough to be like, let's compare them, because like there's so many great. Yeah, well, there's just so many like great bands that came out with albums. Like I could have like there was like Northeast Party House, but there's so many other ones that I'm like, there's so many albums, but I need like this needs to be like a good like Super Smash Bros like situation.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Hey, if
and
you
that's
did Northeast Party House, I guarantee you Brad would not have missed this episode.
No, God, no.
Fair.
Brad
The bowling club, though.
Brad would have quit the bowler for Northeast.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I was going to ask you, how, because you did mention to me that you took your time picking these two albums. How did you end up coming to a decision?
I think I was just kind of in the mood, like trying to decide albums that had that like I guess just a worthy comparison, where like songwriting is very similar, and I guess just like where the scene is today in terms of like upcoming bands that are in I guess the climate of the Oz music scene at the moment, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I picked these two because they both have a very emotionally driven approach to them, but they both have similar crowds, if you know what I mean. So they have that kind of similar intent and that similar punch to them, but in a different way. That's probably the best way I could describe it. Like, like if I was probably to compare it, like it's like, I don't know, like a Naruto episode where it's like Sasuke versus Naruto, and you're like, you know, the two main people are comparing each other, like competing against each other. They're both evenly matched, and they both have like some sort of edge to them that are both differentiate each other. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's probably the best way I could describe it without giving it away yet.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a tease.
Yeah.
I love it.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's funny because I don't know if you knew this before picking, but Brave from Dear Seattle has been on the podcast himself.
That was the first episode I listened to.
So we are now doing an ex-podcast guest band.
Yeah.
And it's going to be pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
I'm pretty excited.
Hell yeah. No, I was like so
It's
glad
cool
you guys
that we
are
can
keen.
actually do that.
Yeah. Like alumnus, like, you know, yeah.
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 Mission failed.
Hall of
We'll
Fame.
get them next time.
Hopefully there'll be more to come. Speaking of guests and their music, though, have you been working on music during the lockdown?
I have, yeah. I think it's been an interesting period because I've never been a person to make demos, if you get what I mean. Like, I've never like sat in front of a project and been like, I'm gonna make a demo. I just kind of be like, oh, let's just play live. But now like writing demos and all that, it's been a new experience for me, which I've been really excited about. So I'm keen to I've been working in a new kind of direction, and then just new sounds and writing from a different place, in a sense that like I'm writing on a computer rather than on a guitar.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's a little bit more electronic sort of vibe.
Yeah, I've just been like, I think I just wanted to like, because I wanted to, I guess phase into a new part of the stage show where I can do more things like dance on stage. I can have a bit more room to do other things and just kind of bring a more diverse show. So, there's just a kind of like a bit of a goal to reach now that I'm like, oh yeah, I want to do more of this now. So, I've just been experimenting around. Like, I never used vocal manipulation in my life before, and it's been a wild ride.
Oh,
just
sick.
So
I know you're a big Charlie XCX fan. Is that a little bit of that coming into play?
100%.
Hell yeah.
That's really good. We did one of her albums and such a good time. She's so good.
Yeah. It's such
so
much
fun listening to that.
Yeah, I just want to make stuff that was fun to make. Like I made stuff that was fun to play, like live, but I wanted to make stuff that was like fun for me to make, and then I can at least be like dive into the sound of it and understand it a bit more. So just figuring that out. Yeah, so I'm keen to like do some writing like with people since we've got like new restrictions opening now. So keen for that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, true. You haven't been able to do anything like that.
But
it's happening now. You're back open. Have you been to the pub or anything?
Like I went to like a restaurant, but I haven't been to the pub yet. Like I'm waiting for like a bit more people to be allowed in if you get what I mean. So like it's still restricted for now, but like I'm still waiting for that good old tap. Still waiting for the good old tap.
It'll be very, very sweet when you finally get there. I
very
imagine.
frosty.
It's like a caramel koala, but like
it is.
For
adults.
Yes, for adults. For adults.
Yeah,
respect
for sure.
Sell tap beers at schools for $1 for charity.
No, that's for the staff. That's for the staff challenge only. Like,
yeah.
Little do what we don't know anything what happens in the staff room.
We love our teachers. That's how we do.
All right, let's get into the episode. I reckon. Before we do, make sure everyone listening, you legends, drop us a 5-star rating, a dope ass review, and make sure to subscribe so you never miss an ep. All right, let's run through the facts of these bands. Dear Seattle, formed in 2013 in Sydney's northern beaches, baby. Bray Fisher, our guy, ex-podcast alumni, on the vocals, guitar. Jeremy Baker on the bass, Lachlan Simpson on the guitar, and Josh Mackay on the drums. Their breakthrough came in 2017 with their single The Meadows and subsequent self-titled EP. But this album we're doing, Don't Let Go, is their debut studio album released on the 15th of February 2019 by Domestic Lala Records, which, for y'all that don't know, is the guitarist of Violent Soho, James Tidwell's label. The other bands on that are West Lebanon, Loser, and Golden Bats. 4 just damn good bands on that label. Just one of the coolest labels already. As soon as they came out, we're like, oh yeah, that's cool.
That's going to be cool.
That's the label you want to be on as a punk band in Australia, for sure. Tidwell also produced this album alongside John Grace. There was 3 singles, Maybe, Daytime TV, and Try. They did also release music videos for I Keep Dreaming and A Modest Mind, so they might have been singles, I'm not sure. And it peaked at number 45 on the ARIA charts, which is very, very, very cool. It was also nominated for Best Independent Punk Album at the Australian Independent Records Awards in 2019. But nice. They garnered. I remember when they first kind of got their break through Unearthed, and they were huge. Like they were one of those bands that Unearthed really broke.
Yeah, it was such a quick it felt quick to us. It probably wasn't quick for them. But
they had been a band for a while.
Yeah, for people watching on, it felt like it was a very quick rise, for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Very well deserved though from that.
100%. Yeah, I remember. I think this is why I kind of went with them for this episode, because Dear Seattle were not my first entry to local music, but they were the moment when I just moved to Melbourne and was discovering new local music. A friend showed me The Meadows, and I was like, oh my, what? Who is this band that is amplifying my scream in the pillow emotions right now? Excuse me, where did you come from? So I think that's why I was just super I need to find a band. I need to pick a band that was I could like talk about, and like in the sense that like like kind of like resonated with what I feel. So I was like, heart on the sleeves. Let's let it explode.
For
That was
sure.
kind of
that's it.
yeah. And then Afterthought, I think I remember seeing them live for the first time at Yaya's, and Stumps opened for them.
True.
Yeah, and
Bit of
Stumps like Just
brotherly-
Released Piggyback.
Brotherly love, yeah.
Yeah, so I was, and like it was just such a cute time, and I was like, this is my moment in like local music that I will always remember, because it was just like those entry.
That's
like,
awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah. So yeah, and then they released the album. I was like, oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Before we move on, shout out to Stumps and their new album coming out, their debut
Yeah.
album coming out very
Yes.
soon. It's gonna be freaking awesome.
That new
Hey,
track rocks
I've had
so
enough.
much.
That is cool. Everything they do, I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
You're
They're
cool.
They're so effortlessly
Cool band. Very cool band.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Sick. Let's run through. Yeah, let's run through slowly. So they formed in Melbourne. So we got Melbourne v Sydney on this one.
Whoa.
Ben Stewart on the vocals, guitar. Patrick Murphy on the drums. Albert Doan on the guitar as well, and Alex Quayle on the bass. Race Car Blues is the album we're talking about today. It's their third studio album, released on February 28th, 2020 by Unified. I find it so weird that they're on Unified, but because the bands on Unified are like North Lane, Ocean Grove, Hellions, In Heart's Wake,
They were
and then
definitely
you got Slowly.
kind of made. I feel like early on in their career, I kind of when they were sort of more leaning towards the heavier emo stuff. Not it was never
Yeah, that's-
super heavy, but I can kind of see where it's come from. I reckon.
I guess, yeah. It's not the craziest thing ever, but
No.
you know, they're not like the other bands on the roster.
No.
This album was engineered by the band's bassist, Alex Quayle, which is like really fascinating because this album sounds awesome production-wise. And all the band, they just produce themselves as well. So it's really cool. It had 6 singles: Jellyfish, Creature of Habit, Part 2, Safety Switch, Low, Race Car Blues, and 19. And it peaked at number 7 on the ARIA charts.
Yeah, it was pretty massive. Hey.
Yeah, heaps massive.
And it was like
did
went
so
for-
well.
Yeah, for over a long period as well. They were like that album. They was all over Triple J for that kind of whole year, really. Which is sick.
They're another band that Triple J fully got behind. I think it was Aliens might have been the single that they
The
just
first one,
pumped.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
super well deserved because man, they write some good songs. And yeah, let's talk about
The Elements.
Let's do it.
yes, let's do it indeed. Like Ben, the singer, his chorus melodies are so huge. Every chorus is like, oh, damn.
Yeah,
Just pulls one out of the bag every single time.
yeah, for sure. I think there was a
yeah.
Sorry, you go, Nathan.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that like I 100% agree. Like it's like the choruses are on point, but I think what makes them so like it's such a good comparison is because they have that kind of like similar, I guess, intent and aspects to them that are like in terms of influences. In my opinion, like they kind of remind me of bands of like Citizen, Basement, and kind of those like raw like pop punky kind of like sides to them. But they have like different ways of doing it. Like Dear Seattle are very like much in the attitude, the kind of punky attitude, whereas like Slowly are very wordy but are very like chorusy, if you get what I mean. They both have like really good hooks, but they have really like different I guess like intents to them, which is really cool. Like you could almost compare Dear Seattle to bands like Silverchair or like Violent Soho in terms of the sound.
Yeah, there was a few tracks on this where I definitely heard some like what was Diorama. I definitely heard like a little bit of Diorama in a few tracks. And also, it's worth mentioning, when Dre came on, he did The Bends by Radiohead.
Oh, no way.
And on listening through this after doing that, I reckon I heard a bit in a couple of the tracks, some of the deep cuts, like A Modest Mind and stuff. There was a few bits of Radiohead in there, I reckon.
Yeah, totally. It's like, I think it's just such an interesting record coming out of their EP. Like in terms of sonically, like they were kind of going for this like really rough around the edges like sound when they first came out, and and then with this album they were kind of going for a bit more like I don't want to say polished, but like I guess like a more elevated version of what they were doing lyrically. If you get what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's I also got a little bit of like Wolf Alice in the production.
Oh yeah.
Like just like lots of space in the guitars.
Hey, yeah.
Like it sounds like it's been played at the Fezzy. Like
Yeah.
I could like that, which is sick, and I think it like suits him a lot. And I kind of think I like the production on Slowly Slowly's album, but I think I prefer it on Dear Seattle's album, just because it's still a little bit rougher around the edges. Whereas some of the tracks on Race Car Blues they're definitely leaning more towards the pop spectrum of pop punk, I think.
Right.
Yeah, Race Car Blues is very, very clean. Dear Seattle definitely, when they play live, they have that, huge, massive sing-along sound, which they definitely tried to capture in the studio, which it came through in the production, where slowly, it's definitely to a point, and they kind of tied everything together. But yeah, I get what you mean. It just works better what Dear Seattle did for their songs than what Slowly did for theirs. I don't know. Maybe. I think that's just...
I don't know. It's kind of a bit all over the place. Like, not all over the place, but there are a few tracks on the Slowly album that like I like, but they do get a little samey. Not samey, but Jellyfish and Michelangelo, just like super crisp, a bit too crisp for me.
I think it's just like, I think it really just shines their influences, if anything, because like it's slowly like with Dear Seattle, I think like their band influences really kind of resonate in the record, whereas slowly it's a very much like it's an amplified version of singer-songwriter like mindset, I think, to some degree, like especially like with songs like How It Feels.
That one blew me away a lot.
It's kind of it's like, there's that element of like dramatic nature to it, and
I kind of got a bit of Jeff Buckley vibes off it. I don't know.
Totally.
Like very like especially in his voice, because that's definitely like the most raspy his voice is on the record on How It Feels, and it like starts to get like a little crackly, and I really like that. Which is the same with Dear Seattle. Actually, there was fewer tracks whenever Bray like hits those really high screams, I just love it. But like he doesn't do it all the time, probably because it hurts. But
but there were moments.
Yeah. There's a part on When I'm Gone, the opening track. It just like blows you away.
Do you notice that there's one of those moments every single track?
Yeah.
I reckon with Dear Seattle, they're one of those bands that is known for they were known for their loud, like crazy live show, and their biggest songs, like maybe Daytime TV, they definitely represent that. But I think Bray and Dear Seattle are best when they kind of like pull the distortion back a little bit, and Bray's just putting his heart on his sleeve, like what you said about like it sounds like he's at the festival. It's just like this big soundscape, like the guitars like not distorted enough, but they're not that clean. And there's just so much room for everything to like move. Yeah. And I think it's the outro maybe, or just before the end of You. It's so good. Like it does that so well. And I reckon that's like when they're at their best. I wonder if they're going to go in more in that direction.
Yeah. But, I don't know.
Because like their big singles maybe in Daytime TV, like they're biggest singles for a reason. But the deeper cuts were very impressive.
Yeah, we love a drop D moment. That's what I will say, and I think
for sure.
Like, and I think that's for both cases with like slowly as well. Like songs like Soil, like where like the riffs really shine. I think that's like I think it both brings out like their live aspects and the kind of like sentimental, as you said, heart on the sleeve kind of aspects to them. That I think makes them so, what's the word? Like attractive in the sense that like people just gravitate towards that sound that is quite. Sentimental and heartfelt and emo, I guess. Like, and that's
I've got down in my notes, Soil, so emo. It's like definitely the most emo track. I was a big fan. I like love. Yeah,
that was the really one song because I didn't really listen to this album that much when it came out, but that was the one song that I had listened to, and then when I heard it again, I was like, yeah, this definitely still stands out.
Yeah. Well, I think for me with this record is that like they both have like different elements of where their vocals shine, in my opinion. Like Bray's very much like a like in terms of the way he sings, it's a mood of like, let's just get this out of my system right now. I need to like literally just like have a little cry, like kind of a little cry moment. Whereas like I think for slowly with Ben's and Ben's vocals, it's like you're entering like his little diary. like it's so articulate and there's so many words. I'm just like, how do you fit this many words into a sentence and make this sound that good? Like, it's a very diverse vocal record.
The melodies are very fast, hey.
Yeah.
It's like he's like a
lot of the
rapper.
verses on the Race Car Blues were so fast.
There's a lot of words.
I said to Adam before, I was like, it's almost like a nursery rhyme melody.
Yeah.
In a lot of the songs.
So it just keeps going.
I can just imagine Ben doing like a nursery rhyme like mixtape of like nursery rhymes, but it's a full like he's
sad
like
ones.
like his rhythms are so like sharp and very like you can like literally hear everything he says, which is insane.
Yeah, he's got a very rhythmic vocal delivery. I think that's a very good way to put it.
Yeah,
for sure.
But
totally. Yeah, Bray's definitely more like uninhibited, I would say. It just kind of feels like he's sad, but he's really like letting all the as you said, just letting all the energy out. And it's kind of therapeutic in a little way, I think. Whereas slowly is definitely like kind of introspective a little more.
Yeah.
Well, that's with Dear Seattle. That's why they're so popular. Is they're hugely. Everyone wants to sing their lyrics with them because they're not as articulate and you can just yell. Like the chorus of "Let Me Bleed."
Oh,
that chorus is so huge. That's the biggest crowd pleaser I've ever heard.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah, totally. It's like
massive backing vocals.
Yeah, and I think that's what differentiates the two bands at the end of the day, because like you get Dear Seattle that are very much like what's the best way I could put it? It's like Dear Seattle, I want to cry in the pub. And just
cry drunk.
Cry in the pub, that kind of mood. Whereas like slowly, it's like I feel like I'm at an emo show where I'm just like pointing fingers, like every single I got every single like lyric right.
Everyone knows every word. Yeah.
It's like and I think that's what makes them so dynamic as a group, because like their fans are just like have that obsession and kind of that core mood to them where they're just like they either like they just know everything in a different way. In terms of like their music and gravitate to their music in a certain way. But they both have a very like emo edge to them. That's why I was like, this is going to be interesting. Like,
for sure.
I think what you said about how slowly you can tell it's a singer-songwriter's band as opposed to Dear Seattle, where it's more of a band. And essentially, we're very articulate, but you can definitely hear that on these albums.
Yeah, agreed. It's like I just like couldn't believe the amount of words that like Ben could fit in a verse. I'm like, like especially like when you sit there and you write yourself and you're like, how does he come up with like a 2,000 word essay by the end of it, but like make me feel things at the same time? Like, blows my mind. And I think the really cool thing that I was obsessed with was the idea of Creature of Habit Part 1 and 2. I think that's
I was a big fan of both of those.
Yeah,
sick.
Yeah, just like the idea of like the storytelling and kind of like where they are as a band now, and the sound difference too. I think it's like you get this kind of singer songwriter to start off with, but then it slowly grows to this band that just like go full at it, which I think is something really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it when bands do that, when they have like not a callback, I suppose, but in the albums where the songs link at some point.
Any little concepts.
It's like what's called when bands do, or like artists do, like the prelogue of a song, or like little dialogue or whatever, just to kind of like give you a bit of a album experience.
Oh
yeah. It's all about the experience.
It's all about the experience.
Race Car Blues is definitely an album that it benefits from that. I don't know if Dear Seattle, if they would have done that, if it would have worked as well.
Well, I was thinking that was one of my, not like that it's a major criticism, but I think that's kind of what I would like to hear from Dear Seattle in the future. I think is like, because it's a debut album, and like no one's doing crazy concepts on their debut unless you're like King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard or some shit. But I think I would like them to go like dive in a little bit more conceptually for. They're all great songs and they're great songwriting, but maybe more of a running theme on an album. I think that's definitely what I'm always looking for, a little bit of that, even if it's like quite broad. But on like the big albums that I put at my top of my list. They always have some little concept on them, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, well, I think that was the intent of the record, from my understanding, where like Dear Seattle were just like in the zone to make every single song kind of stand on itself as a single. I think that's what that's what the intention was.
I did read that actually.
Yeah. So I think but like it still had, like, I wouldn't say a concept, but I think it still had its flow, which I thought was really a commendable. Yeah, like it's a commendable trait. I think that's what's really like something that should be celebrated with both of these records, that they flow really well. Like in different aspects. Like I think like in my opinion, I think what's cool about these bands specifically is that you can feel the live show in their sound. Like from front to back, it almost feels like they're playing a set, which I think is super cool. Like especially like with the way they end the albums, like Dear Seattle ending with I Keep Dreaming, which is an absolute heartfelt anthem on their behalf. And then slowly doing Race Car Blues, doing this like almost confessional, like isolation, I'm gonna cry kind of like, where you want to scream your heart out. So I think it's really cool that way.
Two heaps good closers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sure.
Both the last songs are incredible.
Epic endings.
I dare say it could come close to the best songs on the album.
Yeah.
Should we?
Should we get into the segments?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get through them.
Hell yeah!
Tattoos.
All right. Alrighty. Yeah. Let's do Get Inked.
Get Inked.
All right, Nathan. We're gonna make some tattoo designs from some lyrics or whatever you want. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll start. I kind of went a bit of the, I guess like the Pixar direction in my tattoo designs. So for Dear Seattle, I wanted to reference A Modest Mind and use the lines, I keep craving more, but it's inside of like Rex from Toy Story. So it's just like the head of Rex from Toy Story just like opening his mouth and like raw, but it says, I keep craving more.
Nice.
That's heaps nice.
And then for Slowly, I think I referenced Race Car Blues. So I wanted to do like a sad boy Lightning McQueen going ka-chow. Just like I wanted to go for the visual kind of representation of what these records kind of like make me feel. So I was like, sad boy Lightning McQueen going ka-chow, referencing Race Car Blues.
Nice.
He's been signed to
That is so good.
Yeah, he's been signed to Dynamo and he's sad.
That would be like
really
actually really good tattoo. No one would know it was from Race Car Blues, but it doesn't matter because you'd have Lightning McQueen on you.
Yeah, exactly. I probably put them both on my calf, like each of them. Yeah.
That's
where it's at.
Mine for Dear Seattle was from the song Daytime TV. So the line, because Dr. Phil is saying that to be a good lover, I have to show this girl that I have empathy. This one's really shit. It's just Dr. Phil's head inside a love heart on your arm. That's it. Next.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking hell. That's exactly what I had written down. Like exactly that. And it was also, I was like,
Dr. Phil's head inside a love heart.
I was like, that's good. Yeah. I said, Doctor's head, his head in the love heart. And like maybe putting his finger up like that. So like telling you to do something. But like, damn it.
Oh, man. Damn, is that a podcast first?
Well, yeah. I was like, this is so shit. They won't have this.
Oh.
What about like Paul Blart? Because they love Paul Blart. Volkov.
Yeah.
That could be a substitute.
Paul Blart and the Blart. Shout out.
That's another weird. Okay, don't worry. We'll get to that later. That's a bit of Blart is coming up on the pitch. But anyway.
Yeah, all right, cool. Ooh, there we go. And then for Slowly from the song 19, we were in a taxi, drunk in 19. I can feel the whole world looking at me now. Okay, so it's like it's the globe. This would probably also be in your arm, or maybe your calf actually as well. So it's the globe, and then like a taxi riding on top of the globe. So it's like kind of a cartoon. But yeah, it's just the globe, taxi on top. I think I've seen that photo somewhere before. But
why does that remind me of? Why does that remind me of like those like coming of age movies where they like go on a road trip and then like the 2000s graphics where like they go into the globe or the map and like the car's just like traveling along with it.
Yeah. That's probably the vibe that I was thinking of. I think.
Yeah.
Adam,
It's
what's
good.
your slowly one?
My slowly one was from Safety Switch, and it was I
Nice.
think I got a conscience, but it's on vacation. So I was thinking, like, you know how in movies they have like the devil and the angel, like telling them what's good, like telling them to do different things. I was thinking have like them, one of them on each arm, but they're in like Hawaiian shirts and like because they're on vacation. My conscience is on vacation. Anyway, pretty terrible.
No, that is
Pretty
heaps
crap
good.
house. Yeah, be kind of nice.
That's really funny.
Yeah,
that would be a
it's
funny
really
like
not.
short movie.
Yeah,
I'd watch a 2-minute video on that on YouTube.
Yeah.
Down a deep
Maybe.
rabbit hole.
yeah.
I think it's
like
the Hawaiian
exciting.
shirts give it a
We
bit of
didn't
an
mention
edge.
before as well though. We didn't mention how much Beck Stevens kills it on that track.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's such a great
Yeah.
collab.
That adds a lot to it. Yeah, it's so perfect.
Works so well.
Cool. Let's
But
do
it-
the pitch.
Yeah. Oh no, I was just gonna add into that. Like I think like even with songs like Safety Switch, like what I love about Slowly's record is the guitar tones are insane. Like when they shine, when they pop. And
yeah, they really pop on that track. And
Yeah.
That's a fat opening riff.
and on 19 as well. I thought.
yeah, just like
Weirdly.
it's got that kind of like weird feedback to it, but
Yeah.
it almost literally sounds like a chainsaw but with emotions.
Yeah.
So I was just like, yeah, the guitar tones on both records definitely have moments. Like for Dear Seattle, I'd say like A Modest Mind is probably my favorite guitar moment.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, and Try, I was like, oh yes. I was like,
Yeah,
I think Try, especially the song that I was like, come on, Dear Seattle, I need a song like this to like so I can like cry and get that kind of mood. Yeah.
Yeah. That
awesome.
that Rage Against the Machine sort of riff at the end of A Modest Mind is so crazy.
Came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's nuts. I really like it.
Oh yeah, and
They're big Rage Against the Machine fans too.
Yeah.
Well, that's the funny thing, right? So like with that song in particular, like I listened to the record on vinyl. I didn't listen to it like on my phone or anything beforehand. So like I got the record on the day and I played it and I'm listening to it and I'm like, oh, this song's probably like done now. And he's like, and then Bray's like, I'm feeling. And I'm like, oh, hello. like I'm just like,
Yeah,
oh, okay, I
goes
want to
so
feel it. Oh, and I'm like, oh, I'm like,
So sick.
I was like, hello, Bray. Like, took me by surprise there. Like, yeah, it's and I think that's what kind of I love about DC Seattle. They're not afraid to kind of go into that kind of like grungy, like hardcore elements into their sound.
Crazy parts. Yeah. It's
Yeah, there's a bit more like a bit more recklessness to it.
Yeah,
which I think
for
is super
sure.
cool. Yeah, definitely good,
Anyway,
definitely a moment.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Should we-
All right, cool. Let's do the pitch. Let's make some movie plots from the song titles, telling us who is starring in them. All right, Nathan, I'm keen.
Okay, so I went with I'm literally just reading this now because I think when I
All
read
good.
the idea of it,
That's
and
what
yeah,
I
like
write
that.
mine down like first thing, and then I don't read it again until the pod.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I wrote this on Wednesday, and I was like, okay, like it's like how can I do this? And I'm like, okay, like let's pick a song title. I'm like, okay, this. I think I was like going through like my streaming services, like to be like, okay, like what kind of movies can I make out of this? Okay, all right, this is okay. This might be a bit of a weird one. I don't know, like okay, maybe, but okay. So for Dear Seattle,
mine's yeah.
Okay, so for
They're
Dear Seattle, I
always
picked
weird.
Bigger Than My Brain. Bigger Than My Brain was the song I picked from Dear Seattle. And it's starring Andrew Garfield. And I wanted it to be like a coming of age romantic comedy kind of movie. And it's like a situation where like the main character always thinks logically throughout his life. Like when it comes to relationships, like life, career, everything's just like super robotic and kind of like that mode where he's like, yeah, just like doesn't and get to enjoy life. So everything's just logical.
Yeah.
And he's pretty much a robot. And then every decision's calculated. And then the whole moral of the story is basically it's that like emotions are bigger than your brain. And at the end of the day, no matter what happens, you just gotta approach life as it comes and
Nice.
let it confront it and let the emotions out. Because like he kind of goes through his like traumatic experience, let it comes out. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Nice.
That sounds
Yeah,
like an
that
actual
sounds like-
movie.
Yeah, you'd learn something from that. You'd walk away from that cinema feeling like you've educated yourself.
Yeah.
Through
Yeah.
through film.
Yeah. Yeah.
You definitely won't be learning anything from my movie. Oh no.
What is it? All right, you go, Adam.
I've written mine. It's an inspirational comedy. It's starring. It's called Broken Hungry from Dear Seattle, obviously.
Nice.
And it stars Kevin James. Hence why the Paul Blart reference worked.
Yep.
He stars Kevin James as Dirk Dickler, a recently fired truck driver who is let go for sleeping on the job. Sorry, this is a really long synopsis, by the way, so just prepare yourselves. Dirk finds himself homeless after not being able to pay his rent and eventually finds himself begging for money. One day, Dirk passes by a local Mexican restaurant with a sign advertising the Belly Buster Burrito Bonanza, a burrito eating contest that states if a contestant finishes a 2-kilogram burrito within 15 minutes, they get the burrito for free and get a place on the Wall of Fame. Dirk destroys the burrito in 20 seconds, much to the amazement of the other customers. Dirk then travels throughout the city, defeating food challenges so that he can claim the free food and gains local notoriety along the way. During one eating contest, Dirk comes across ex-professional eating world champion Slav Slovenhoff, played by Willem Dafoe. Slav decides to coach Dirk, and the pair train for the World Championship of Eating, taking down all the other professional eaters one greasy plate at a time. There you go.
Damn.
My heart wasn't ready for that. That was incredible.
Yeah. He's broke, and he's hungry, and he fixes both problems at the same time. So there you go.
I just love
really good.
I love the 4 Bs. Like the
Yeah. I worked hard on that.
like that was incredible. I was not ready for that. I'm like, damn, like that set the scene already. I can see the sign and everything ready to go.
I was pretty bored at work, and I was thinking of this while I was at work. Today, actually.
It's amazing what the human
that's the highlight of my day. Like just like hearing the 4 Bs and burritos.
Yeah, Belly Buster Burrito Bonanza.
Damn.
The next
Hire this guy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
All right. Mine is very, very simple, very short, and it's been done before. It's pretty much Billy Madison, but with sport. So it's also called Bigger Than My Brain from the Don't Let Go. It follows Brandon Buckshank, played by Terry Crews, as a 30-year-old aspiring footballer, NFL, whatever, American football, who has to go back and repeat high school to try and get into college at 30. Whilst Brandon is a polarizing football, he is way too big compared to the size of his brain. To put it lightly, he is an idiot. The movie follows his high school experience. Once again, he's 30. Parties, girls, and lots of study as he tries to get his scholarship in his last chance to try and make his dream a reality.
Nice.
That's Bigger Than My Brain, starring Terry Crews.
That sounds
damn.
good.
I love how you guys
it'd be a lot of fun.
I think it would also work as like The Rock and Kevin Hart movie.
Oh my
god. They could be in it. Maybe The Rock
Kevin
is
Hart's
the
his
idiot,
best friend.
and
The
Kevin
Rock,
Hart is yeah.
Oh my
That would be
gosh.
cool.
I just love how like you guys
That would be really good. Let's pitch it. Let's pitch it to Dwayne.
Yeah.
I just love how it sounds like a synopsis to like a book, and I'm just like my mind's been blown. I feel like I've been taken on a journey.
Oh no, we've like weirdly when we started this, we were just saying like, it is just exactly this movie, but we are calling it this, and then it's now
it's really taken a life of its own.
It's evolved into this thing.
we always make characters, and I think they always use alliteration. E.g. Brandon Buckshank.
Yeah. Or Dirk Dickler.
Wait, what was the one you did about the words? And it was
I can't remember.
It was something to do with dictionary. It was like Mark Diction or something like that.
Theothosaurus or something like that.
Theothosaurus. That sounds like a dinosaur, like ready to go.
That was
Yeah.
That was my movie about the spelling bee gone wrong. Anyway.
Yeah, you got to go back and listen to the
Anywho.
episodes. If you're listening, you haven't, damn, there's some good movie. There is some good movie ideas. So if anyone from DreamWorks is listening,
Warner
hit us
Brothers.
up. We got trademarks on them. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's do the ad.
Let's do it.
All right, what songs are we putting in the playlist, which you can follow on Spotify? The Record Royale ads. It is getting way too big.
It's
that
the biggest
playlist. But we're gonna
ever.
put.
I just realized I picked two. I did two plots.
Oh, did you?
Wait, what?
Yeah, I
Whoa,
thought
yeah.
I thought we did like I thought we were doing one each for each band. So I like.
Oh, true.
True.
Go on, read it.
Go,
read
give it to us.
Oh, okay. So
us
like
up.
for slowly, I like picked Creature of Habit, and as the title, and I wanted to make like an animation on like a Disney thing. So it's like kind of like Finding Nemo, like a Finding Nemo situation. But the main character is a jealous jellyfish. So he lives. So yeah. So like he lives through his life like, you know, have the tendency to like push people away. Like that's his habit, because he's like, you know, went through life being like
Really
alone
jealous.
and isolated, like he's abandoned. So he's lonely, no family, but one day encounters a fish who's lost, and they go on this journey to like find their home. And then once they find the home, it's like the jellyfish is jealous, and he like stings what's called a person that's interfering with their like relationship or friendship, and then it gets rejected. The jellyfish gets rejected and abandoned from the village, pretty much. And then they need the jellyfish to save the day, and he it's something like that.
He redeems himself.
That's redeems himself. Yeah, it's like kind of the
That's
redemption arc
beautiful.
again. Yeah, and it would star. I think it would star Zendaya and Tom Holland.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man.
Both your movies so inspirational.
Yeah, I like both.
Thank you.
We
I
need
was
more
like,
happy movies. Most of them are just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm just a massive Shrek fan. Like the Shrek 2 is my
everyone
movie.
is.
Who isn't?
Yeah, I know, right? Best soundtrack of all time. Best movie
For
soundtrack
sure.
of all time. Yeah. I was just gonna say, I feel like I need to watch movies.
One
with
of the
you
most
guys, 'cause
quotable
literally-
movies ever.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, we should. Maybe
Legit.
that should be your Twitch
Every
stream.
single time. Yeah. Every single time I have a beer, I say, "Can't we just settle things over a pint?" No.
He's,
Okay then. And
he's,
then Bad Reputation plays every single time.
he's actually
Oh my
not even joking there. Like,
The real
No,
question.
not.
it's
the real
almost
question
every
is-
time. Every time he has a beer.
It is every time. I have so many things to settle over with this with you.
I need to come to see. I need to come and Sydney and see it for myself.
Yeah, you should.
Oh my gosh! Like it's okay. Shrek
Alright,
1 or
let's
Shrek
let-
2. Like,
All right, let's add some songs to this playlist. What are your two favorite songs? One from each album, Nathan.
okay. Oh, okay. So I did this one differently too. Okay, so so I went by
That's cool.
which song had the dirtiest riff, and which song was my favorite. So for slowly, I'll start off with slowly. My favorite song. Oh, so that the one that had the dirtiest riff was probably Soil for me. Just that,
for sure.
just that,
Yeah.
just that intro kind of riff cuts through. But my favorite song definitely has to be Race Car Blues for me. I think it's such an epic ending for an album, and I think it was the song that kind of really got me into the band, because it was such a dynamic track towards their discography that I was like, this is so anthemic and so singer-songwriter, but has that kind of pop punk edge to it that's like, I feel like I'm gonna cry in the end of it. It's like, it's so anthemic and makes me want to melt. So that's definitely my pick for the ad. And just like when the vocals like stack on each other in the end, I was like, oh. And the guitar riff in the end for Race Car Blues is piercingly beautiful. Like, just an absolute moment. I reckon, in my opinion. Yeah.
Awesome.
What about for Dear Seattle?
Oh, Dear Seattle, I would go. So the dirtiest riff one, definitely a Modest Mind, especially with that ending, that dynamic, that incredible ending. And my favorite song would have to be Let Me Bleed, best chorus in the record. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that chorus is huge.
It's a live moment. It's a live experience moment. I just love I love how it's kind of like it's like a two-parter chorus, if you get what I mean. It's like you get that I'm so scared, and then that moment, and then it goes to that like up and down melody that follows it after. So definitely a cool moment.
Nice.
Yeah, sick.
Hell yeah.
Adam, what are yours?
For slowly, I had Soil. I think that's definitely. We said it before. It's like just super emo, and I don't know if you guys are a fan of like the Hotelier. I don't know how to say it, but yeah, I get a lot of vibes
Hotelier.
Of that track. Either that one or what else? Or that or How It Feels. But I'll say Soil, I think. Yeah. And then for Dear Seattle. I'm picking these on the spot, by the way. I'll go.
Like a true professional.
Yeah, I'll go When I'm Gone. I really like the opening track. I think it it just really sets the whole album up. It's got a bit of everything, like a lot of the chaos, but a lot of the really big melodies as well. Yeah. Go with
That moment where he's like, same side. Dude, like,
yeah. That's the bit that gets me every time. I honestly I've gone back and just like gone to that little bit when I don't have much time. Yeah. And just to hear that.
Yeah,
so good.
That little moment.
Pumped. Yeah.
Beautiful.
There you go.
Hectic. I did You for Dear Seattle. I think that's just what I said before. Best like heart on your sleeve. Chooses like the melody over instead of like the loudness dynamic aspect of the band. But yeah, that song rules. And then slowly I did 19, the second track on the album, I think.
Yes.
I mean, that's just the best hook on the album, that chorus. And like when he puts in the vocal harmonies as well, so good.
And like,
just stay right where you are.
Yeah.
and then it like comes back.
It is so good.
And I'm like, oh yes, beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like a chorus.
Yeah, I love that. I love that track. It's really good.
Beautiful.
Hectic. That playlist is looking good. Follow it on Spotify, and we're going to do 2 truths and a lie. Nathan, did I tell you about this segment?
I'm not sure.
So you don't have to do anything for it.
Okay.
All me this week. All right.
gotta
So
do
I'm
some
going to
guessing.
I'm going to say 3 statements
Yeah.
about the bands.
Okay.
2 of them are true. 1 is a lie. You and Adam have to tell me which one is the lie. You got to figure it out. All right. Statement number 1. When recording this album, Race Car Blues, Ben, the singer from Slowly, recorded all of his vocals in complete privacy. So he got rid of the band from the recording studio because this is a quote, I wanted to feel the songs without any sort of distractions. Number 2, Dear Seattle intended to release a 14-track album to James Tidwell's surprise, who suggested they cut it down to 11. Number 3, Jeremy, the bass player from Dear Seattle, has said that at a Violent Soho show in 2014, he got kicked out for crowd surfing before James Tidwell told the security guard to let them back in, and this was before they were on his label. All right, lads, which one's the lie?
I reckon it's the last one.
I reckon it's the second one is true. I know the second one is true because I think they had like I remember seeing it, and it was like they had like 20 something tracks ready to go, and then they cut it down to that many, to like what they wanted 14, but then so now it's 11. The first one just seems so real though, so I'm like, are these all true? Like I'm like like
wait, can you repeat the first one again one more time?
I sure can, my man. Okay, when recording Race Car Blues, Ben recorded all of his vocals in complete privacy, stating, I wanted to feel the songs without any sort of distractions.
You can hear it though. That's just the crazy part to me. It's like you can hear that being true.
Yeah,
but I'm also like, what if that last one actually happened?
Yeah, maybe the last one. I don't know, because I feel like I'm just trying to think of Will's brain right now, and I'm thinking.
I love writing them. I love writing them. It feels like forever since I've done this.
Yeah, I feel like Will would have just gone, Dear Seattle sounds like the festival, so does Violent Soho, and they're on the same label, met at a festival. That's where his brain might have gone. Possibly. We get pretty deep on this, by the way, Nathan.
I'm okay. Yeah, no, fair. I'm like just trying to think like how, I don't know, like because like if that last one is true, that's like the most romantic comedy to exist in Oz music.
Yeah,
having like an experience in the crowd where like the guitarist that runs your label that you are a part of is like. Well, I wonder if he remembers that. That's if that did happen. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna say that's a lie. I reckon. So I reckon the first one sounds true.
Locking in number 3 is a lie.
I'm locked
Nathan.
in.
All right, I'm gonna go just from the fact that I feel like I'm a romantic comedy and optimistic. So I'm gonna say I want the dream to be true. So I'm gonna say the last one is true. The second one is definitely true, and yeah, I'm gonna say the first one's a lie because I'm kind of in this point where I'm like, I wonder if Ben had a deeper quote.
Alrighty, so correct. Number 2, they did like have 25 songs, got down 14, and then got told you can't do 14, so they did 11. Number 3, Jeremy from Dear Seattle did get kicked out of a show for crowd surfing before James Sidwell got him back in 2014.
God damn it.
Yeah, read that. But yeah, I made up the slowly one. I don't know if he did it in privacy. He may have, but it just kind of sounds like it, that he would have wanted to do that.
Yeah.
It kind of seems like that kind of musician.
Nathan's a champion.
Well, like
Nathan
like,
killing it.
Like it feels like that. Like especially with like Race Car Blues, where like, in the last part in the vocals where he's just like by himself. So I'm like, that sounds so like that sounds like it could be true.
Yeah, especially the end. Hey, you can hear him like breathe after the line at the end of Race Car Blues.
Yeah, like it's such a like a singer songwriter kind of like it almost feels like I'm listening to like elements of like how raw it is, like Blonde, for example, where like it literally feels like he's been just like let like his emotions are just drained out. Insane.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, well, nice work, Nathan. I'm happy I goosed you, Adam.
Damn it.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, none of us have got it in a while. Like
No.
me, you, and Brad,
We've all
are on a
stuffed it
very
lately.
dry streak.
I think
Dry streak
I think
continues.
we're all going too deep. We've really tried to get into each other's minds, and we keep overcomplicating it each week.
But yeah, we're not smart enough to go as deep as what we're expecting each other to do.
Yeah. No.
All right, we've reached that time of the show. We got to rate these albums out
let's do
of 10, but not just out of 10 anything. And guess what I did this week?
I'm gonna go race cars.
No, I forgot. So I'm going to quickly look at it. All right, we're going to do out of 10. We're going to do out of 10 daytime TV
Yeah.
channels. 10 daytime TV channels. And
Right.
then for slowly, we're doing it out of 10 towns that you were bigger than. All right. Pretty shit, but...
Alright. That was shit.
All right, Nathan, what is Dear Seattle, Don't Let Go out of 10 daytime TV channels? And just for a heads up, we don't do decimal points because we can't be able to do the maths. So just a straight number out of 10.
Oh, damn. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, man. Okay, so I have to be pretty like concise with this. Okay. I reckon Dear Seattle's first record, I'm going to go with... I'm going to go with 7 daytime TV channels out of... Wait, what? How many channels? 10 channels. Yeah, I'm going to go with a strong
10
7.
potentially
A strong
10.
7. Yeah, 10... Yeah, what? Sorry?
It's a channel 7.
Oh, it's a
channel.
It's a channel 7. Oh, no.
Yeah, there you go.
It's prime.
It's-
It's prime.
It's prime.
Channel 7. And then yeah, so that's what Dear Seattle I reckon. I reckon they can top it. I reckon they can top it with the next one.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Adam, what are you giving it out of 10 daytime TVs?
I am gonna follow that. I think. I'm also gonna give it a 7. I said it before. I think it's a great debut for sure. And considering how quickly they climbed the ladder, it's a very impressive feat to have like a pretty substantial album. But yeah, I think I'd like them to go a little bit more, maybe conceptual, like as an album as a whole. Get a little like Frank Ocean with it, maybe. I don't know. Probably not. Might not suit, but there you go. It's a 7 from me. 7, Channel 7, Prime Possum. Yeah.
Cool.
There we go.
I'm gonna go channel 8. I'm gonna give it 8 potential TV channels out of a 10 channel. We don't have Foxtel here. It's just 10 channels. In terms of like rock bands that do huge melodies, I reckon Dear Seattle are maybe one of the best in Australia at the moment.
Yeah.
Like their choruses are huge and super catchy hooks. I was going to say like exactly what you said. I think when they refine their sound a bit and like completely zone in on what they think works for them, their next stuff will be like super good.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going 8, channel 8.
No, I agree. I think it's like a combination. I think for me, I was like, especially coming off their debut EP.
The EP.
Like the EP was like one of my favorite records, one of my favorite like Oz records of all time, in my opinion. Like it's just so, it flows so well and just has such a really raw kind of off the wall, like rebellious kind of aspect to it, which I think is so exciting for a band that with that kind of sound. So I think for me, with to get it to that 9 or 8, I reckon I'd love to have like a combination of both, where it's like you get the elements that you get in like Don't Let Go, but I want it to be a bit more unpredictable to some degree, like, which I think which is what the EP provided, like raw, a bit more distorted, and a bit more messy, which I like. Yeah.
Nice. I think they'll definitely get to that peak sound on their next release for sure though. Cool. Let's do slowly Race Car Blues. Out of 10 towns that you're bigger than, Nathan, what are you giving it?
Oh, okay. So I originally had a decimal, but now that we don't have decimals, since there's no decimal TV channel, there's no decimal towns, there's no half towns. I'm gonna go. I think, to be honest, I'm gonna go with an 8. Yeah, I think it's a solid record that has a lot of moments in it that, I guess, like separating that sing. I think I'm just such a sucker for that singer-songwriter aspect to it. It's got that. There's so many ranges of genres that I feel are implemented in this record. Like, especially with songs like How It Feels, it's very much like that singer-songwriter situation. But you also have these elements of like pop punk in other tracks like 19, and they just combine a really a good combination of everything into their influences into this record. And vocally, I'm just obsessed. Yeah. So nice. Definitely, If without decimal points, I'm gonna go with an 8. Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. 8.
Yeah.
What was it again? 8 towns that you're bigger than.
8 towns that you're bigger
than. Adam. All right, Adam.
I'm gonna do a bit of a cop out. I'm gonna go with 7 as well, because I can't really differentiate them. 7 towns that I'm bigger than, because I think that this one it does do a little bit more in like terms of like concepts and stuff. But there are a few songs on there like Jellyfish that were just a little bit too sugary for my taste, and that's just my personal taste. Whereas I think Dear Seattle is more down the avenue that I like as far as like aesthetic, I think. But yeah, so they kind of balance out for me. I think it's a 7, a strong 7. I think they've both got their best albums ahead of them, for sure.
Agreed.
There you go.
Cool.
7 towns.
I'm gonna go 6 towns. Kind of heavy, but I'm gonna go 6 towns that you're bigger than. I think, me and Adam was saying this. I think I had a bad taste in my mouth from this album because of Jellyfish. I just thought, that song wasn't exactly what I thought Slowly were, and when I heard it, I was like, oh no. But then listening to the album, I was like, no, he's a super good songwriter. But I do think a lot of the songs are really similar, and a lot of the verse melodies are really similar. Like the choruses are super, super catchy, but
big,
I think if there was a bit more, is diversity the right word?
Yeah,
in the melodies, and because the production's very clean, it kind of showcases how similar all that is.
You're focusing a lot on the melodies.
Yeah.
I think that the odder tracks definitely shine, where it's like he gets a little bit weirder towards the end, the middle of it, and the end of the album. I think for sure.
Totally, that makes sense. Yeah, hell yeah, love that.
There we go.
Yeah, so 6 towns that you're bigger than. Let me do quick maths in my head. Ooh, I was just the deciding factor then, because we do have a winner by 1 point. Dear Seattle, Don't Let Go has got 22 out of 30. To Race Car Blues is 21 out of 30. I'm kind of sorry about that. That could have been a tie.
Could have been a tie.
We're about to have a tiebreaker. I wouldn't even know what to do. I think we'll just do whatever Nathan said.
Well, I think that's
we've done it before. We've done it before, and I think it came down to whatever album the majority voted better than. But that wouldn't have worked because
it was all
Adam
even.
did the same.
Yeah,
but we don't need to do it because there was a winner, so it's all good.
Well, I think it just shows like how comparable the bands are. Like in terms of like
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
Yeah.
they both have a very much like a very similar intent in terms of the way they write, and like a very like it's just I think they just have like different aspects to them that kind of differentiate them. But yeah, it's just like it's such an interesting combination of the two. Yeah.
But both bands are super young as well, so they got a lot more records ahead of them.
Exactly.
For sure.
So it should be all G. Hey Nathan, thank you so much for coming on the show and bringing these albums. Very much appreciate it.
Yeah,
oh my gosh, no,
so
thank
fun.
you so much for having me. I hope you guys had a lovely time. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah.
No, I hope you had a lovely time. Hey, next week on the show, yeah, I don't know about next week because if you guys are whoever's listening, you got to join our Facebook group, the Record Royale Epic Facebook group Royale. There's about 100 and like there's a good like chunk of people in there now.
Yeah.
And the other week we were tossing up ideas for next week's episode because it's just going to be me, Adam, and Brad. If Brad's back from the bolo, we'll see. If not, it's me and Adam again.
Yeah, miss you, Brad.
I said, hey, Epic Facebook group Royale, what albums should we do for the middle week of Oz Music Month? And I was like, put some suggestions in there. I was like, Kiss JC versus Series.
Would have been
Guy
crazy.
Sebastian versus Shannon Knoll. Stella Donnelly versus Angie McMahon. But no, the people have voted. And we are doing Toot Toot by the Wiggles is going up against Celebrate by High Five.
Oh, no.
That's iconic. Oh my gosh.
This is
That's
going to
the
be the
thing
hardest week ever.
This is the thing that's happening. We're doing the Wiggles and High Five.
Can we get a snippet
I don't
of
know.
like
I don't know how I'm going to do it. Because I love to listen to music doing things. That's kind of like my favorite. That's the way I listen to music. I have like walking or just doing shopping even. Just absolutely anything. But I can't think of a scenario where I'm listening to either of these albums comfortably.
Yeah. But hey, it should make for a damn good podcast episode.
Oh, yeah. It'll be good.
So that's next week, the Wiggles and High Five. And you know what we say? We say it's more fun if you listen along at home.
Yeah.
So if you want to punish yourself or treat yourself to the Wiggles and High Five throughout the week.
Depends on what you're into.
Please do so. All right, Nathan, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much
Very
for
much
having me, man.
appreciate it. Hey, where can the good listeners find you on the socials?
Oh, I'm just the Wong Nathan at the moment. That's my Instagram.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and
Love a good play on words.
Catch me there. Yeah, catch me there doing
Hectic. You can follow us at Record Royale. Remember, Wiggles High Five next week. Yes, that is a thing that's happening. All right. Thank you so much, Nathan. See you,
Thank
Adam.
you.
Hey, Brad, when you're listening to this, thank you for editing it, even
Brad.
though you weren't on the show.
Miss you, Brad.
See you later.